Calculating, because I couldn't be for sure, absolutely, but that I'm co-creating with us. But I'm feeling like I really got some Thor-like power. I've got some real opportunity here to do something in the creation movie. And I think the greatest parts are like this kind of part. Buddha, Jesus, really enlightened human beings. And normally, and I'm in a perfect situation for that, you've been in the world plenty. You've had sex, you've had marriages, you've had children, you've had grandchildren. And it's kind of a natural step to be the teacher, the elder, the one actually preparing to go to heaven, preparing for the next step. Right, really looking at your life closely and sifting out stuff that's not worthy. Gardening. A lot of times I call it gardening, and our mind is the garden, and I'm the hand of God in a way, determining that's a weed. Get that thought out of there. Get that out of there, and don't give it any energy. Let it atrophy and die over there on the side. Or no, maybe you can't. Maybe I've learned a couple times, because I went against my own ego hard as a younger guy, like, oh, I see where the enemy is. It's in the selfish qualities of ego, of a little mindedness. Okay, here I come with LSD every few days, and that little voice would always say, no, don't do it. And I'd go, I'm gonna do it. It's too bad you're being so resistant to it. It's really for the greatest good. And then, so I don't know if I ever fully subdued it. Maybe for sure during some of those trips, there were times where it was egoless. And that's a very high state. That's blissful. That's kind of unity with everything. They talk about it. I know it. I didn't learn about it in books. I experienced it and thought, this is priceless. It's not talked about in school. Parents, my relatives, my grandfather, the elder in my family, never said anything about the path of illumination or the pricelessness of knowing God or knowing yourself deeply, or which is both. It's the same thing, but just this kind of path, and not just being good at living in the world. It's needed to be in the world. I'll give myself plenty of points. I did well. I'm doing well still in the world, but the real path is deeper than that. It's soulful, and the choices we make are like building that. It's like a child sometimes to me when I was first waking up, like, oh, you're a potential Christ-like. Everybody is. What I am, you all are. I'm conscious of it, though. What are you going to do about that? I want it to grow stronger. I want to give it life in a way, like we give relationships. You give it touch, you give it attention, you give it quality support. I'll feed you, my own little child like Christ. But that was over 50 years ago, the beginning of that. So I wouldn't even measure it now. How could we measure at any time anyway? We can't measure each other. It's true, judge not. That makes a lot of sense. I see that.
Feelings. That's how I measure.
What?
Blissful feelings. Remember, blissful. When you know.
Yeah, because
how many times in your life can you
we're
say
trying to,
you've
that brings
bliss?
up
we
Mott.
want to bring that to earth, don't we?
Mott has the scales of justice, right? Ma'at. That was the first scales of justice, Ma'at.
Mott.
And there your soul is weighed against the weight of a feather. Your heart is weighed against the weight of a feather. And if it's light as a feather, you pass through the...
It's almost impossible for us to pull it off. I've heard that through all
That's
these
just like
readings.
walking
Coming
on
to
the...
earth is probably the most difficult thing any soul could choose, considering there's bliss. They're staying in the source, not even going anywhere. There's just so many options. Going to another planet, another civilization. Anyway, thank you all. We all did choose to be here. And then I think I'm backing up more than ever on kind of my judgment of it. Like, this is fucked up, you know, and we gotta make some moves here collectively, and one person can't do it. We gotta do this together. So we gotta, and I've got a little more faith now that even these most negative features of being alive have tremendous opportunity for us to grow. And there is a birth taking place, or a step for humanity in terms of consciousness growth. And it's been needed. It's like, and we volunteered to facilitate it. That's how I feel like. So everybody's we're all kind of being birthed, whether we want to or not, but it's better if you like it. I mean, it could be that we schism at some point, and everybody that wants to just live like the way the world is now and isn't really trying to change anything, they can have it. But the rest of us get this whole other reality. Like the new earth is one of her statements. We're creating now because our thoughts are so much more powerful than we think. We're literally creating the next step in this in life, in creation. I've got the the extraterrestrial civilizations landing, multiple, and I'm one of them. And that's, a bunch of us get revealed, like we come out of undercover agent status or whatever it is now, less consciousness.
Well, the landing pad's down at Uncle
The landing
Robert's.
pad's so obvious. It's so obvious. And
He built this.
I haven't
dedicated it.
decided whether I'm staying or going. The biggest decision for me is, which it's completely in my hands, is whether to go or stay. And I've thought different ways at different moments in my life. I say I'm committed to stay. I can handle the heaviest changes the earth can go through coming up, and if it's needed to bring this consciousness through in a physical form, then I'm gonna volunteer to do it, because I think I could walk through fire. I have that kind of feeling right now. So then I think, well, just say thy will be done, divine will be done, and just relax. Because going on the mothership to another fresh planet with us all that have awakened to the point where we can go to that next step in vibrational dance here and in this creation dance, we're going to go to many other places, dimensions, places, but some of us, I think, and I could kind of see it, went to another planet and got to, like, you guys are like going to be like Adam and Eve. But there's thousands of us. I'm not even sure how many's involved in the planting. But the mothership brings us in, though, and there I am, and I'm thinking, well, I've got the skills to be part of this. It's another pioneering thing, which I like. The freshness of civilization not ruling, and that we're on a blank slate kind of here in Hawaii. We're kind of on the canvas unpainted, and we can make it happen here in Puna somewhat. But not completely, but some of us can. Anyway, I think another planet would be even fresher, so I'm kind of aiming for that. Like, okay, when the work is done here, but the Spirit told me long ago, the work is not done here till the last lost soul knows what you know now.
Oh, boy.
And I went,
we gotta get him on the podcast, Dan, and have it go viral so we can hurry this process up.
Because we're helping each other become what we really could be.
Yeah. But
what is our human potential? There was never a class about that. There was never. I don't remember a conversation. In church or school or at home. So I feel kind of pioneering, and I'm not. There's others who think this way, but it's kind of too rare for as important a topic as it is. Like, what is really going on in life? Or do we just get good at avoiding that question because it's too big? Some of us duck and just do what we can. I'm a mom, I'm a dad, got a job, I gotta do it. Payments, or it all falls apart. You guys got to get back.
She gotta go. She 2:00. She's supposed to be back by, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this was a fun visit.
Oh.
I just took over on Stoney R.I.P again, big one.
I love your Stoney rap.
Me too.
I was
I've been
really.
doing it since I was a kid too.
I
I've
know.
allowed myself. I consider it kind of like a channeling, because I don't prep it or have some speech that is prepared. I just kind of trust.
I got
could get used.
I got me and a couple of these hags. So two of them are over in Australia. One of them's the Maori of the stolen generation over there. And then I have one in Ireland, this Irish Spitfire sister. She's from a lineage never colonized by Christianity. And
So Celtic
wanted
or
to-
Druidic or something?
Uh-huh.
What?
Actually, she almost has like no magic beliefs, but she listens to everybody else and she respects them.
Mhm.
And she does know the stories of, her land and the people and stuff. And just listening to her is just
Ireland's a
absolutely
magical
fabulous.
Island.
Yeah, Ireland. She lives in Tremor. She is my Anam Cara wife now. I'm not her primary wife, but she's mine. And we
At a distance, though.
Adam Cara.
soul friend, and she's with. So she has a thing with this other wife, and over there, I guess it's like a thing. And if you you say, "Oh, you got to go check with my wife on that," And if she says it's all right, but no. But I would love to come over and talk Jesus stories, trade Jesus stories.
The next time you see me, I'm gonna be loaded because I'm gonna start reading these books as soon as I
Right.
get a chance.
Well, I know you
I want to go to
running
Hot Ponds
around,
possibly today too.
running around in
Say
Rainbow. You're
bye-bye.
bound to have your own Jesus
Thank you for
stories.
hanging around for listening a little bit.